You so much for joining me on Calibrating with Leah, the life coach. Today I have guest Kimberly June West, who has been a dear friend of mine. Through us, like just talking and getting to know each other, I've learned so much about her that has inspired me so much. There are days where I'm just done and I'm just like, okay, this is terrible. Like, what can I do? How can I look up from this? And I can think of this beautiful lady next to me, and I know that there is a tomorrow, that there is a smile again tomorrow and a new day and a new way to receive things and look at things. And she's given me so much inspiration and strength. And I'm so thankful to have her just come on and calibrate with me. And so without further ado, Kimberly Joan West. Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. I see a tree in the back. You're in the spirit.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if anybody has heard on Facebook the hashtag sock life. I am doing a I'm trying to get socks together so that we can give them to homeless
Okay.
Leah, so that she can give them to the homeless over where she calibrates with them and feeds them. She's an
Oh, that's
amazing soul.
wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. That's so great of you. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, I had just found some socks too because it's getting cold and it's that season and you can get sick. So, like, it's just little simple things like that that you could do for someone that just gets somebody through the moment, right? That
Well,
just
it's
keeps
the
you
number
going,
one most needed
right?
and least given. So I
Right?
would like to change that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You are awesome for that. Just even the last time I went out with, I go out with my friend's house, LA, and we went out and we ran out of men's pants. But also, the one thing that I did notice is that there was a lot of requests for socks. And these were like gently used socks. They were still good, but they were gently used socks. And they were so happy and elated to just get that. And that's why I was like, okay, I got to go get some new socks because there's nothing like a fresh pair of socks. The new socks will get you going,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Energize
Exactly.
you, just get you through that moment. And that's what it's really about, getting through these moments, right?
Right. Exactly. You just never know who you're walking into somebody's world, and you don't realize what you could do for that person that could actually change their world for that day. That could just make them think, okay, I got this.
Okay. Right. I know. And I always have this thing where I go, that saying, one person's mountain is another person's molehill, you know.
Right.
I want to be a connector of these people that, one that has an abundance of one thing and just is nothing off of them, to just pass that along to someone that has, none of that, and that just fills each other's cups and really calibrates with each other. That is my a definition and meaning for calibrating, and just to calibrate with everyone in your environment to the most productive and efficient manner, which is serving each other how we can and where we can, because you know I mean, it's not every place for everyone to serve every position, but just where you can, and they definitely
Exactly.
have an overabundance in areas of their life to where they can share that and that be needed and spread around to where it needs to get to. And I know that you've had a lot of moments and days to get through, and a lot of abundance has come to you, through you, from you to others. And I'm just so happy that you're on here to calibrate. So I want to know what do you want to say today? What do you want people to know this holiday, to know about you, to know about getting through these moments, just being here in these days? What do you want people to know?
I think for me is that, for a lot of people right now is like one of the hardest times. Either because, they feel like all this responsibility to have their kids have a good Christmas, and there's so much stress over the holidays, and, so many people struggle with suicidal tendencies, or depression, or anxiety, bipolar. all of these mental illnesses that also go very strongly with brain injuries or being molested or being raped or any of these things. These are things that I know all too well. And, you know, it doesn't have to be as hard as I've made it in my past. You know, I was at a very young age, I was raped and molested, and I blame myself. I felt like I was not worthy of anyone. Um, I struggled with who I was because I wasn't quite sure, because there's a mental illness or a word that they call it, and it's like multiple personalities. And it's not that I have multiple personalities, but when somebody violates you, you take on a personality to protect yourself
Wow.
from having that to ever happen again. But in reality, it's what hinders you, and what hides who and what, because you feel like you're disgusting, and there's just, who could ever love you, you know? And with all of the things that had happened to me, I felt so alone when all of this stuff had happened to me, and then I got sent away. And was treated like I had done something wrong. And at this point, I had researched how to die, because I was done. I was 12 years old, and I was done with life. And I never knew my grandmother. She died when my mother was 13. And one night I just decided I was done. I had done my research. I knew exactly what I was going to do, and I did it.
Wow.
And from up here, I saw my grandmother find me. And, you know, you can't ever take back that look. I was very, very lucky to be given that second chance to go back in that body and forgive people, and to be forgiven. You know, I was given a second chance. Not a lot of people don't get that chance. They just get to watch what their family goes through after, because you feel like there's not any amount of strength that you have in you anymore to do any more of this fighting. You know, you just feel like you can't do it anymore. And so I ended up going to a mental facility for kids. And I learned a lot about, you know, about being depressed. And so from there on out, I was in therapy. And never once do they teach you like how to heal your soul. They just teach you how to like cope with it and move on and just keep going, you know. And it's not as easy as that. You just can't move on from just life. And sometimes life is just so much. But it doesn't, it gave me a new burst for life after I got out, and ended up going back to my mom's house, and life was amazing again. And, you know, I always used to go with her to work and go visit with the old people and sit there and listen to their stories, because you know what? They always had it worse than I did. They had to travel from, and most of the time in these cars, they would go 5 miles an hour, or on horses or whatever. I mean, some of these people were old, and it was just, it was like listening to a movie. It was very rewarding. And so I picked myself up, and it was, school was such a challenge. I didn't learn very easy, being ADHD, and then having dyslexia. It was like school was frustrating. It was just one of those things that I didn't really. I like the social part of it. Very extroverted, very social. I was considered the sweetest, kindest person you'll ever meet, and that's just how I've been forever. Yeah, I mean, and it didn't matter what knocked me down. I still got back up, and I still just did it again. My mom says, you know what, there's no room for average in this world. You just got to be great. Be great at who you are, because you're the only one that can be you. And it really stuck. And so I didn't want to be Miss Popular. I didn't want to be the jock or the cheerleader. I was just me. And I didn't get bullied or anything like that. So I had a good warming experience for school. School was a place of enjoyment. It was home that I didn't want to be. So I had tons of friends, and I was always gone. And so, I mean, at the age of 17 and a half, I ended up pregnant with my first baby. And, oh, geez. Talk about a whirlwind of everything, because I just wanted to be a mommy so bad. It was just one of those things. I babysat all my, from the age of like 13 up. And I wanted to be a mommy. So this was like the best news ever. I dropped out of school. I said, woohoo, I'm going to be a mommy. I'm just going to sit around, and I'm just going to take care of my son. Oh, geez. It really doesn't work like that, and so ended up going back to school. And I went to like an alternative school, and I started getting big, and then I started getting sick, and then it was time to have him. And I had decided at one point that I was going to give him up for adoption. I was so young. I didn't think that I could give him what he needed. And then the baby was born, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I can't just give him away. We had like this bond. Well, a year went by, and the struggle was so real. I was about to become homeless with him, and all of these things. And so it was okay. I've reached my limit. I'm going to have to, just give him up to the family I had picked for him. And they were an amazing family, and they did a great job with him. And he came back to me at 18, and just sweet as anything, just full of love, and, just told me all the things I needed to hear, that I didn't make a mistake by doing it, And I'm, and throughout life, I'm finding that I always get up with the intent to do and be the best person that I can be in every event of my life. And so my mom has always been like that hero for me, because she's just been through so much. And she's a very strong soul. And so then I got a job in California. And I decided, you know what, I'm done. Okay, well, I'm going to pick up, and I'm just going to start all over again.
How old are you?
So I was 19. No, 18. 18.
Okay.
Yes, 18. So then I left in, it must have been like in January. I gave him up for adoption. His adoption was final a week prior to his birthday. So he was born the 25th of January, or 23rd of January. No, 20, Jiminy Christmas,
Uh-oh.
26th of January. And then my other son is the 25th of January.
Oh, all close together.
Yeah, and then I have a girl that's is the 5th of January. So, uh, right. And so I get on the plane, and I'm going to be selling this cleaner door to door. And I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. And it really was an amazing experience, because these people, they're travelers. They go throughout all different states and cities and all kinds of stuff, selling this stuff. And it was really fun. We lived in a hotel right on Sunset Boulevard. And I realized how dirty Hollywood really was. It really is not that glamorous
right?
at all.
No.
I mean, I saw a hobo peeing on the side of the road. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Yeah. So I think I was there doing that for about 6 months. And I blew up. Like I ended up selling a lot. They decided to put me down in South Central LA to sell, because guys are a big target to shoot or whatever. I mean, I just don't understand why we had to go down there, but yeah, so that was fun, so I ended up I wanted to just get the stuff sold so that I could get out of that area. Well, I ended up selling, like, I think it was like 62 cases that day.
Go ahead.
It gets out everything. So it was fun. And so then I went to a party, and then I woke up in a condo, and I had been kidnapped. So
wait, you have said so much, even all the way up until this point. So I do want to take a pause.
Okay.
And I want to go back over what has transpired from the age of 12 to now that you are 19.
Yes, 19.
You are 19 years old. So at 12 years old, you were abused and just not treated as a 12-year-old should be treated.
From
correct?
5 to 11, yes.
From how old to how old?
5 to 11.
Wow. Love, I'm so sorry you had to endure that. And I love you so much. Okay. So to understand you guys, from 5 to 11, she was not treated in the manner in which a 5 to 11-year-old should have been treated. And to recap, when it came out, yes, you were then taken away or shipped away or sent away to your, right?
Yes, she was trying to protect me. She didn't understand that she needed to tell them what was going on, so they didn't know anything.
Okay. So the place where you were sent to, was that the mental hospital for children?
No, it was my grandparents.
Okay. But the pain and not being able to deal with what had happened to you from 5 to 11 kind of put you in a position to then you had to be sent to the mental facility?
Yeah.
Okay. So dealing with all of that and that all coming up and having to deal with that all by yourself, then you're in this mental facility. Did being there help you in any way, shape, or form? Was there any positive out of that?
I don't remember it.
You don't remember it?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of memories from like my bleed on from before. So
Okay. So you say bleed on. What do you mean by that?
the bleed that I had on my brain when I was 26.
Okay. All right. So you may have remembered it then at that time when you experienced it and in that moment. But now, at the age that you are now, you have had something that we haven't yet talked about that causes your memory loss.
Correct.
So you don't have that memory. Okay. So after you get out of the mental facility, you do going back and being joyful with your mother family and every there, right?
Yes.
And things were good for you, right?
Yes.
Except for the academically in school,
Yeah.
right? Because
School
you
was
got
hard.
dyslexia and ADHD, right?
Right.
So do you think that in school, was there anything that they did to help you with that setback or that they could have done that could have helped you more when you were going through that?
Um, well, I ended up just learning how to help myself because I could read lips, and so I didn't get like I didn't understand why if someone was being mean, I wasn't always offended by it. I would
Yeah.
just, you know, so I always had to sit at the front of the class, always. And so for me, it was just so that I made sure that I was paying attention so that I could get everything out of the class. They did a lot of things for me. I was in so many different courses and so many different tutors that I got what I needed out of school. School was hard, but you know, I definitely didn't. I have like a 3.1 average, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
mean, I wanted to stop in that point because I definitely want to voice that I know you very well and I know you to be one of the smartest people that I know. So, bleeding on the brain, ADHD, dyslexia, trauma, abuse, like you have come through. And I am so inspired by the intelligence and the wisdom and the knowledge that you share with me all the time. So I definitely wanted to stop on that and and show how you had to push through certain things and how, you know, if someone did do something good for you to help you get to where you are, that's highlighted. I think I thought it was interesting that you brought up reading lips. Do you think that helped you to learn better by tuning in and reading lips or focusing because you had ADHD, or it was
yeah,
better than reading and things like that?
I'm deaf in my left ear.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
I
So
forget sometimes the details. So
okay. All right. But still, you push through to be, you know, one of the most amazing wells of wisdom that I know. So I'm so thankful that you push through and continue to strive for your education and your learning and booby trapping your life so that you could learn the way that you needed to learn and not just accepting what they handed to you. You found your way, and I'm thankful because of the things that I've learned from you, and I'm just grateful that you push through. And I think that would be a testimony to anyone that's struggling to reform how you do it, and like it's okay to recalibrate what's there and what's being offered to you and what it is.
I,
Okay. So
I
I wanted to stop there with the school, and then also now we're going to advance to where you were a social butterfly. You made your way in school, made your way through. Then the unexpected pregnancy. You had expectations that just did not meet the reality of the situation, and you did what you thought was best for the child that you had by placing him in a wonderful home, and then going after what you would perceive as success and what you would think you would find in Hollywood, California.
correct.
So your yourself, period. You're just a motivated self. You're just a success yourself. Whatever you do, you're going to succeed in. And I know that to be true about you. So when you came out here, you did really good in the opportunity that you were given, which was a sales thing kind of on the rise years ago. And you probably did really well. And you were doing your thing, just hustling to just get your feet under you so that you can have control of your reality, right?
I did my hustle very well. I was really good at like doing that sales thing in person because I could show them. I could, I could do, and it was just so much fun. We got to go to Great America. We got to go to, to Disney World. Or Disneyland. And we got to go to Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, just all of these really cool places. So, I mean, to be young and be able to just have, money at my disposal, it was just really fun. It was inspirational because I ended up being one of the drivers, and then I ended up being one of the persons that stays in the back and ends up loading the vans. And so it was really cool just watching how far I can really go at things when I give it my all.
Right?
So it's cool.
Just then the success that you already are, that already is, and rises to the occasions that are presented before you. Right? I love it. I think that that's something we miss as we get older and get knocked down, because we think we get knocked down because we weren't good enough for the experience that was presented at hand. But actuality, however we show up is what we were supposed to apply to that experience in that situation, right, is how I feel. And we should take great value in just being in the experience and being able to present ourselves and focus in on really presenting ourselves in every situation, and that leads us to where we really need to be. So
I agree.
I'm so grateful that you give your all to everything that you do and just make it so great. So life is going good. You are sailing through successful sales job, getting your bearings, and you go to a party in Hollywood, California, or
it's like on the outskirts of South Central. It was an old friend of mine that I had met when I was a kid, and because I lived in California as a child. But so I mean, it was just a really cool party. It was her birthday, and I remember walking out to my car, and that's all I remember until I had woke up. So yeah. I don't really want to speak about what happened. I mean, I ended up escaping and getting out and getting help, and a lot of people were hurt, and it was a really terrible experience. And when I got out of it, I was absolutely just so grateful that I was able to see my mom or see anything. And then I found out I was pregnant.
Wow. So I know you don't want to go into details about everything that happened, but I just want to give a vision so that they can know what you went through. How long were you kidnapped for?
I think it was like 4.5 months.
So this wasn't an accidental kidnapping. You didn't have the night of drinking and then land somewhere 2 days later and say, I was kidnapped. You were kidnapped. You came coherently out of this night, and for 3 to 4 months, you were a kidnapped victim.
Right.
Right. And you were not alone.
No.
Okay. 3 to 4 months, kidnapped victim, you escape. Were you just stronger, smarter? Did it?
I don't know what the one girl that was there when I decided that was done. Well, I'm done. I'm out of here. I already have a plan. I had been there long enough that I knew when they were coming and when they were going and what they'd say because I could read lips. So my advantages to the things that I learned in school really, kind of paid off. I'm not one to be trapped. I don't know why I have those instinctive things to do these things that some people just think that baffles me. I don't know why I had those instinctive things to pay attention to where the sun is when people leave or whatever. But whatever it was, it got me the chance where I didn't have to be in that place anymore. And so the person wouldn't go. she wouldn't leave. Well, she didn't leave that place, and none of her family ever saw her again. And that is just set so deep in my heart, because I was the only person that survived all of that. And it just, I mean, I'm glad today that this doesn't, um, hurt, because all of them are done. They're not on this earth anymore. I don't have to worry about going to California. I mean, it's been my dream to go back, but so scared because they still existed. And now I'm free, And so when I found out all of that, I was free. I no longer had no fear anymore of that. And that was my biggest fear. So why should I have fear of anything else?
Anything else? Yes. And so my heart goes out to you, and I send you so much love, but I'm so elated that you got to this point to be able to live the life that you live and how you live it on your terms, and so full of love and with such a grateful heart and so sincere. I know you so personally, so like I love you so much, and
I love you too.
I love you, and I know this story that she's telling, and I also know how she got out. So even when I asked, because I heard her say she didn't want to give details, but how I know how she escaped was not something of easiness or just bravery or quickness. I just kind of brought those things out because I didn't know how she felt comfortable to actually say like what transpired for her to get out of the situation. But I tell you that it was a painful, long, just dehumanizing ordeal for her to separate herself from this environment and this place that she was in. And I'm just so grateful that she did, because I love her so much. And I can't imagine not getting the calibrations that I've gotten from you over the time that I've known you. Just every smile, every bounce back, every supportive conversation and supportive word, and every just conversation and just trust that we've given and how we've grown and how we've calibrated the relationship. I could imagine not having you in my world, or knowing your story, or you knowing what you know about me, and us sharing what we've shared. So I am so grateful that you got out of that situation and you're here today to talk about it. And I'm so grateful that you're talking about it with me. And I'm glad that the pain and the hurt has subsided at least enough for you to talk about it today, in case someone else is going through this, because I also want to touch on like all that abuse, all that pain, all that struggle. You didn't lose your value.
No.
Nothing in there took that value away, or the value that you could pour into someone else. So I applaud you for staying calibrated to your value, and knowing that your value was only as valuable as much as you were giving to others. And you do it with no question, with a smile on your face. And I just want you to know personally, you inspire me I'm a nice person. You inspire me when the moments are dull and low and the energy is not there. I can think of you. I can turn to you for light, inspiration, guidance, and just a little bit more strength and I'm so grateful for that, because your efforts, your struggle, your decisions affected me, and it affects how I affect other people. And I know I'm not the only one. So I can only imagine the little ripple effects that you are putting out there for you just being here, because I help a lot of people. And that's not to toot my own horn. That's just to say that I need my fuel, my energy. I need what I need when I need it, because I have people that depend on me. And you have helped me help them. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Me too. So we'll get past the kidnapping and you being the one here and getting over that and moving on. And now, where are you at?
I am pregnant.
Okay.
Do you have the feedback?
Just a little bit, just for a moment.
Okay. And I'm going to have a baby that I am not going to be giving up for adoption. And I am absolutely scared out of my mind. But I ended up coming back and I ended up getting an apartment. And I ended up being on bed rest and I went back to school and I got my my diploma and I did it. And and they told me that I didn't make it, and so I didn't get to like walk down with all the grads or whatever. And then they called and told me that they had something for me, and all of my teachers that had helped me were all there. And my son was like he's born in January, so in June, so I got to celebrate it with him, and I got my diploma, and it was really exciting. So I was very proud, and I ran right out and I instantly went to go to work after had been I don't know. I've always had a side hustle, so always babysat and cleaned houses and stuff. So I always had a way to make money, and so finally decided that I was going to go work at Wiener Schnitzel's, I think, and it was a start. And then went to Burger King, and then I landed a nursing gig where I was working with people who had cerebral palsy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a place to land.
Oh, that changed my life. Oh, my Lord. I could not complain about anything in my life ever after. Sorry,
After all
someone's
you've
trying to
been
call.
through. Oh, no, it's okay. It kind of goes fluid. After all you've been through, now you're someplace where you feel grateful for the path that you've taken.
Yes.
And right? Tell me about how did it change you? How long were you there? Where'd you go afterwards? Wait,
Oh,
how
so my son
old?
is born, and I don't know what happened to the sound on my side. That's weird. Okay. But you can still hear me?
Oh, I can still hear you.
Okay. And so, well, I guess, and then I had my little girl. So I guess I kind of forgot some steps and
Oh,
some ages.
so
So
before you
I
got to life
was,
changing cerebral palsy, you
I started there at about age 24.
the cerebral palsy job?
Yeah.
But in between, you were a nanny and you had your beautiful daughter.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I was working, and
You're a mother of three, and two you have kept, and one you've given to a family and being raised by a family.
right.
Okay, got it.
And so I lived like right up the block they went to a Montessori school. So they had a really good, daycare system. And then, age 26, man, was that an event that I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that event. It was a definite life-changing event. I I was pregnant, 26 years old, and I was pregnant with my last baby, a little girl. Her name is Nicole June. And I was so excited because at this time in my life, I'm 26 years old. I am so ready to be a mom, more ready than I'd ever been in my life. I have her, and I had decided to get an epidural. And so I didn't realize that I had a blood clotting disorder. And so when they did the epidural, I guess it activated a blood clot. And then they went in and they sealed it with a blood clot. And then for the next 3 weeks, I was a guinea pig because I didn't know what was going on with me. So I have been stuck in the back like 3 times because, they just didn't understand why I was having all these headaches, what was going on. So it's August 17th, 2001. And I can't move. I can't move from the neck down. I can't think clearly. I'm like, why? What's going on? Well, I guess the blood clot had got lunged into my vertebrae or whatever and caused my whole everything to be completely done. So we get an appointment with the neurologist. I go the next day, and my mother's noticing that I'm not responding the way that I should be, and I'm not speaking clearly. I was clearly having a stroke.
Wow. At 26 years old.
Huh?
You're 26 years old?
26 years old. Leidens factor 5 is what I had, or is what I have. My kids have it, but they have like a gene, so it's off, so they're less likely to have one if they were to have something happen like that.
Wow.
And so I'm in full range of my brain. I'm fully taking pictures of everything that is going on because I'm just baffled by that this doctor is totally just throwing that I'm not having a stroke. Not that I knew what a stroke was, because I really didn't. He just told me to look at this green dot on a wall that I'm like literally can't even pay attention to. My mother had to help me up on the table, and it just seemed like he was literally not even paying attention to what was going on. He sent me to the hospital to get admitted. They laid me flat on my back, and immediately the blood clot went completely all the way up into my brain. I started losing control of my bowels, all of everything. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. My whole right side was completely paralyzed. I could not speak, and so this is a very, very scary concept in my mind, because I can't tell you what's going on, and I can't ask you because I can't say the words.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I dying? Like, like all of these thoughts. No, I can't die. I've got 3 kids. I got a little baby newborn. What the heck? No, I can't go yet. And so all of those conversations, I guess, is what keeps you fighting for your life. I didn't realize that. So I got rushed to Harborview in Seattle, Washington. It's where most head traumas patients go. And so I was put on life support at one point. And I remember waking up and seeing people around me praying. I just thought, oh my God, I feel so loved right now that all these people took the time out of their day to come make sure that I wake up, or I, whatever, God, I just felt so, my mother, I couldn't imagine being in the reversal role, because my mother was there every day.
Every day, huh?
Every day, reading to me these stupid romance novels.
Aww.
But she was there every day.
Yeah.
And if those doctors came in telling them my survival rate and whatever, get out of here. She doesn't need to know. She already knows what her survival rate is. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
She just, she took off my newborn's baby clothes and put it next to my chest, and this is what you gotta live for. This is what you gotta, keep reaching for, and I felt that. I mean, it was just, people say that people in comas can't hear you, or they can't. Maybe I had a different level of a coma. I don't know, because I pulled my leads off and I could move and function. I guess some people don't always get that in there, but it 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 was definitely something that I don't think that I'll ever forget. That's
No.
so deep and just so mesmerizing that I was that person that now I can walk, I can read, I can write, I can live alone. I don't have to have anybody here to help me. All of these things that I do, I really don't take anything for granted. You can't, when you've had so many different chances, and God says you're still there. No, you got something. You're something bigger than that is going to happen. So I already know that all of those reasons that I became who I am today is so that I could be that example that shows no matter what you go through, it doesn't mean you have the right to be mean to somebody, or
No.
doesn't give you the right to do whatever it is that you're doing.
Mm-mm.
You don't know what somebody else is going through. And
Really?
sometimes it's not even about you that they're calling the nasty words to. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably because that's how they feel about themselves, or something that's been told to them, that something, just, you just don't know when someone cuts you off in traffic what their life is like.
Yeah.
You just never know. I
I
don't
don't think
look like
every
I
machine
have
works that
had
way. Yeah.
I don't look like I've had 1,000, if not more than that, strokes. I don't look like that. Nobody would ever know that if I would have never said anything. But uh, it's just an example that people just don't. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what they are able to do, and
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they've tried so hard that it's just like, okay, I'm going to pick this up in a little bit, and then I'm going to try it again. Because I remember being that frustrated person going through rehab, and God, that that that's some stuff
Yeah.
that,
I
anger,
wonder,
that it's not really anger.
uh-huh. What is it?
It's frustration.
Mm.
It's
Okay.
that, and also fear. Am I ever going to be able to walk again?
Mm.
Am I going to be able to run? I remember I have it on Facebook, the first day that I ran after I got my hip fixed, because ripping it. But before that, I'd never ran.
Mm.
If I did, I would fall. And I was so excited to run, but I'm not a runner, so I didn't do it for long. I believe running is for when you're trying to get away from a bad guy. When you don't need.
So I want to kind of focus on the fact that, like, you had to, because I had this thing of man's theory means nothing in the world full of miracles. So I believe that each and every one of us is a miracle. And I can always remember back on times when I just knew something was going to go one way. And if this happened, it was going to be the demise of me. And oh my gosh. And our minds thinking these elevated terms of either really, really good or really, really bad. And I just want to think about, like, just not accepting what man told you, or your chances, or those numbers and things like that, and just going into your own reality and pushing forward. What about it do you want people to know about that scenario?
Like how to push through.
Yeah, just how where people were telling you that what you could do and what you would be able to do, and your survival rate, and your mother's like, get out of here with that. Like,
I don't
when a
know.
person is being told one thing, how do they overcome? Not how do they, but just, was there something when you went through it that you want people to know about it because you went through it, and you can only know this by going through it, or what?
I would have to say, don't believe them just because they're doctors. Their mind is so limited that they couldn't comprehend to know what it's like to have a brain injury, let alone try to live life as that. So, how do they know what you're capable of? They know what somebody who isn't capable of doing something, because that's where they get the results.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
But the ones that, you know what, I'm going to walk again. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to do this. Because that is what is in me. Because I, I don't want to use a wheelchair. I don't want my life to be so. I mean, I ripped my cartilage learning how to walk. So I mean, no matter what someone says, you are who determines what you can do and what you cannot do. And
Yeah.
if you want to learn about what you can and can't do, sit in your room and have a conversation with yourself.
I
Um,
love.
Leah, I truly believe that she is the reason why I love myself so deeply, and the reason why I show myself kindness. And I found that the more abundance of love that I show myself, the more I love so much deeper. I am so much more at peace. I don't feel like I have to explain myself. It's just, I'm just who I am. And if you really don't accept that, that's fine. I am completely okay with you walking away,
Yeah.
because, I mean, people are supposed to be in our lives for seasons, days, and sometimes centuries, and sometimes lifetime.
Yeah.
But if we always are chasing the people that we want in our lives, there's not going to be room for the people that need to be in your life.
Yeah. You got to make room for the people who want to love you, and allow that moment of love from those around you to really heal you and get you through those moments, because that's what they're there for. We really do have an eternal GPS that attracts everything that we need to get through these moments in these days. So I love what you said about the doctors and question them. And, you really got to do your own research. I've had some experiences with doctors, not to bad talk doctors. I salute you for going through your schooling and standing in that position and doing that. But the world is so much bigger than what these positions can really encompass, and we just need to accept that they are just doing what they can as man is positioned, that put that title to be there, but there are things bigger than them and outside of them, and you are one of them. You are a magical, beautiful miracle that is one of those things that's bigger than them. Okay, always believe in that, always know that, and don't ever accept what you don't want to own. Just keep fighting for what you want and how you want things to be. And just always question everything. I love that you gave me a homage to that. I helped you love yourself, because I really do hope that people do learn to love themselves and all of themselves, and just what is here right now today, and let that be okay. I always talk about what is your calibration, and that means so much to me, because people get in a place of not value themselves, because they're based off a value system that is the media, their parents, and just everything around them. I mean, there are definitely things that impact you, inspire you, teach you, grow you, and elevate you. Um, but you definitely want to come from a place of your true organic heart desire when dealing with all of these things and learning who you are. And then whatever choice or decisions that you may, be okay with them. And know that your value doesn't diminish because of what you've been through. You don't
Right.
have to carry and take your past with you. It does show you something. It does change you. It does do something to you, but own what it did and what it is, and then process it as soon as you can, to accept and love and cherish and honor who stands there after everything is said and done. And let
Right.
it be okay to stand in that place and love yourself. Love who is standing there, because you are still 100% valuable as long as you have breath in your lungs. So I
So
thank you
true.
so much for, sharing your story. I know it's so personal. I know it's so much, and you can't wrap it up in just talking about it and just saying these little things. But I appreciate the start, because there's some people that could hear people saying, "Oh, you got to choose happiness. You got to process things. You are not your past. You're about." And they're like, "Well, you don't know what I've been through," and they have. They've been through some treacherous, horrendous things, just like you. And there's never a day I don't see you with a smile. And it's not fake. And it's not that you don't have bad moments or you don't worry, but it's that you can look past the worry and the bad moments and know that life is loving and honoring you, and that you are loving and honoring people. And as long as you have breath to do that, like, that's life. That's what's up.
I
Like, I
agree.
love how you live life on your own terms too. It's hard for a lot of people to go through the day-to-day motions and calibrations that life forces you to go through, and still leave out a calibration and a percentage for you to show up and just be who you want to be, without societal's pressures, media's images, and just be you. So I love that you do that. You do that every day. So I don't want you to think that it's ever unnoticed or unseen. And know that sometimes we need to plant seeds that people aren't ready to see right then and there. But the value of planting that seed is so much valuable than getting a quick response, or immediate like confirmation that someone got it. So I just want you to know how much you're putting out into the world, that so many people see your light, and they saw it without even knowing your struggle. But to even know your struggle, I hope that they can see that it's even brighter than they could have even imagined, and that their light is also there through anything that they would deem, negative, or, struggle that they go through, that it doesn't devalue you.
Right.
You just, in things, you just have to show up who you are, and show that experience, how Kim deals with that, how Leah deals with that. And I know that's not easy, but you can do you more than anybody else can do you
Exactly.
at all. So just have confidence in who you are, and show up, and show up. So I'm so grateful that you show up every day for me, so many other people. Um, do you want to say anything else, add anything, talk about anything that's coming up, end out the story of where you've landed and where you are now, wherever you want to take it?
Okay. Well, I truly believe that to be who you truly are, um, you have to reach some type of peace with your past.
Yes.
Totally. And so I'm going to tell you, there's lots of books out there for you. And get yourself like 3 journals. You're gonna need to do your affirmations, your I ams, and the way that I heard it to have the I am so powerful is that when God says that I am in you, that means that I don't know, I hope I'm not butchering it.
I think you
That
did.
his breath is a part of you, and so you are a part of him, and so in that you are as strong as he is. So that I am is strong. I
Yes.
am great. I am enough. I am powerful. Those are, and it doesn't matter if you believe it right now. You just keep writing it because one day you will believe it. I do believe that I'm amazing. I don't believe that I'm just good. I'm
Yeah.
amazing because, that's what it took to get where I'm at today, and you're going to need one to write down all the things that you don't like about yourself so that
Mm.
you can take note, because you know what, it's not always set in stone that you have to be who you are and do things and function the way that you are right now. You're always allowed to evolve.
Yes.
I used to be really, really angry, I guess, as a young human. And as I've gotten older, I have learned that anger isn't a place that lives in my soul anymore, because anger is a secondary emotion caused by some firstary emotion that I didn't take care of.
Hmm. Preach.
So I take care of my emotions so that they don't come up and hit me in the butt anymore.
Right? You take care of them so they don't take care of you, right? I love.
Right. And then you're going to need your third journal for writing down all the things that you are proud of yourself for doing, because
Wow.
that's the most important one of them all. Because I'm sorry, but I I am my biggest cheerleader.
Good. As you should be.
I tell myself I'm a badass. I tell myself that I got this, even when I feel like I don't.
Mhm.
I'll call somebody up who can lift me up, or make me think of things in a different way, because my head's just like, and I can call somebody up, and I already know that what I can do. I have protocols because I don't want to go to that place of sadness, or that place of emptiness feeling, or any of those places. Just don't go there. If I get to a place, I know where to go, and I've created those paths, you just, I mean, even if you need somebody, I can be that someone that you can look to be a reminder that you're awesome. I,
Yeah.
I would love to be that daily person that tells you that you're amazing. I used to do it every morning. I would do about, I think it was like 50 people on Facebook and 25 people in my phone book, that I would just tell them that they are amazing and they are beautiful. And I'm sure some people thought that I was doing it on some type of machine where I'm just sending them out. I'm like, no, I individually write every single one of them. Are they the same? Yes, because I feel the same about all of you. And so, just smile at somebody. You never know what it might do for them.
You are amazing. Thank you so much for those beautiful words, those beautiful intentions. I love how you speak to just owning all of you, and how the three journals encompasses, all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the beautiful, because that's what's necessary to get a real reality check and get real results. You
It
have
is.
to acknowledge who you are and what you're dealing with, where you want to go, get clarity, because it's very important that you're not making decisions on a calibration that's not truly you. And whatever calibration that is truly you, you have every opportunity, every minute, every second of the day to become that, evolve into that, and choose to be that. You should never stay in something, because that's just how you are. You have to choose that that's how you are all the time. I love also how once you acknowledge it, that you celebrate your greatness, but you also acknowledge the bad to be able to set yourself up for success, to booby trap your life for greatness. And you called it protocol, just putting in different protocols of, things that are triggered when you're triggered, and things that are set into motion that take very little energy to get you through that moment, because you know that you are human, as superhuman as we actually are, and have all the superpowers that we actually have. There are
Exactly.
going to be limitations and things where each and every individual has to acknowledge it and deal with it, not just sweep it under the rug and not just own it. We're not owning our limitations. We're not sweeping them under the rug and acting like they're not there either. We're going to look at it and we're going to say, okay, when this happens, I can use this energy and take this momentum and hit this over here and spin that and do that way, and then get back on track. And so many people are so scared to look at their real calibration. And I want to encourage you that your real calibration is more than enough. Everything that stands there with the data and information that you were given and the decisions that you make right here now today is more than enough. And it should be loved, honored, and cherished especially by you, especially by you. Okay. And that's the best thing that you can do for everyone around you. Do not feel bad about being selfish. Show up in the place that you're given. Share your greatness with everyone around you, because that's what you're in that position to do. And it's more than enough. Do not doubt yourself. Do not question yourself. Just show up and be you, and have faith and confidence that that's the best thing that you can do in that moment, in that time, in that energy, in that space. And that's fully what's expected of you. And it goes above and beyond. So I don't want you to ever doubt yourself. And I want you to get clarity on who you really are, though, because that's the key, really knowing who you really are. Because so many of us are acting on autopilot and just going through life, and we're making these lefts and these rights, and because our mother wanted us to, or the media, or our environment. But we really need to be grounded and know that you're strong enough to stand up on our own. We are more than enough to take on whatever's coming our way. And that we need to love ourselves and honor ourselves. And you show me and teach me that every day, Kimberly. I love you so much. So
I have a new journal, though.
Oh, what's your new journal?
A manifestation journal.
I love that. I love that. So
you're doing life with intentions.
So powerful. So freaking powerful. I love it. I can't wait to hear more about it. So I think I want you to come back on and let's just talk just about the journals. How about that? I think
great.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. Practical.
A world of journals. I think I have so many different journals from different things. I was like, okay, I need a journal for this. Yeah. Sometimes I don't get to write in all of them, but I still have them, and I don't move them out of my sights. So.
Yeah. I think that's powerful. I think so many people calibrate the negative things and the bad moments and what they would call as failures into their calibration of who they are. But I think we forget how strong we've been, how we've gotten through things, how smart we were, how
that's where people need to look at it is
and
that their failures are not their failures.
No,
they're learning lessons.
Muscle memory that comes in and it makes you agile, makes you stronger and more. You got different positions to see it in, but it's just also the calibration of the greatness that you've done. I don't think we credit ourselves enough with that accreditation and pat ourselves on the back enough. And we think that our mind will remember these moments, and I tell you they won't. I tell you they don't.
They remember the bad moments.
I know, you got to write this down. You got to go back over it and read it again. I go back and I read these journals. I was like, I did that? Dang, I'm pretty good. What? I remember doing that too, but I hadn't thought about it, and it was put out of my mind and out of sight, out of mind. It's but once you read it, you remember and you envision the moment, and you can calibrate that to yourself. So I think it's so important to journal your your successes and just like what she's saying. And I think we're going to come back on and talk about your journaling, because
Yeah.
I love how you broke it up. Even if you're not a person to have that many journals, at least have those kind of different ideas of what you put into your journal, to where it's not just, okay, today I did this and this and this, but you kind of just have this 4-point marker in your one journal. And what are they again? The last 4 things. And I don't know if you know, Kim, I didn't want this to be interviewee. I wanted this to be conversational and then practical with advice for people to take and do something with it. So you are the perfect example of this, and I'm so thankful and grateful for you. So tell the people what their 4 chapters of their journal should intentionally be writing about.
So your I am statements, your like the things that you don't feel that you like about yourself, the your appreciation or what you're proud of yourself for, and then my manifestation.
I love those 4 corners. I love that.
I did that because I don't write like a regular journal.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like I guess I have a habit of writing my life the way that I think it is, and that's not always the way that it is.
really.
So I just it's like a very fictitious way of looking at it. It's like the way that if I could make my life, this is the way it would be. I don't know. I just don't know if I just don't know how to write an journal to be like thoughts and process and everything. So this is my way of being intentional and making sure that I'm the best person by making sure that I am being good to myself. And I meditate and stuff like that too. So I just stay on a plane of Zen.
I love it. Meditation is definitely great. You guys be intentional with these journals. Write these things down. Pen the paper. There's something about it, and it's something magical. So we'll be back on to talk about the journaling process. And I thank you guys so much for checking us out.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. A lot of people came through. I saw a lot of faces. I saw a lot of comments. I'm so thankful. We didn't get to go over the comments. I had a few over there, but I just wanted to do this for recording purposes of Calibrating with Leah, the life coach, Kimberly June West. Look for more Calibrating with Leah, the life coach. The past ones we've done was Ken Dixon and Corey Smith. Look for more to come. I'm so thankful for you, Kimberly, and everybody that came on. And I look forward to calibrating with you guys. Do the journaling. She mentioned meditation. I think meditation is people, I think if you are not good at focusing or just sitting still or getting through it, or you don't get it, my one tip for meditation is to focus on the breathing. Make sure you take really deep, intentional breaths through whatever time that you can sit there and do that for, because there is something to breathing, and there's something healing, there's something magical and just internal, and just it pours into you. It pours over you and heals you. So if you're not into meditating or you can't get into meditating, at least focus on the breathing to ease your way into it. These journals are going to be awesome for you. Think of my friend Kim. Her Instagram handle is Smiles Are Amazing. Go figure, right? You know, right? And then you're Kimberly June West on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Anybody, any other contacts that someone can contact you on so that you can give them a smile or a word of encouragement, and just do you how you do it?
You can message me in my messenger in Facebook or in Instagram. On Twitter, I think it's KW Natural Fixes. I
just know she's a beast with essential oils too. I've gotten products from her where, she has her Be Gone line, like headache be gone, migraine be gone, anxiety be gone, all kind of just any kind of things that you can think of. She has a combination of essential oils, and not just a combination of essential oil where you can look them up and put them together, but also her additional spin that she's had to put on it through the years of dealing with the essential oils and creating something of a more elevated and higher product, and so much love and just just her research and energy goes into it, and you can feel it. So I have migraine be gone. I attest that it works amazingly when I'm feeling a migraine coming on, and I just put it up under my nose and smell it, and I'll put it under my neck, and it works great. She also has all natural products and chapsticks, and that she just gives away to just make people smile. So I hope that if you guys are interested in that as well, she's a wealth of information on that end of essential oils and treating things naturally without having to go to medication, because you heard her story going through the medical system and just having to depend on herself and do the extra research. She's a wealth of knowledge, love, inspiration, and I love her so freaking much. So check her out for those things as well. It's KW Natural Fixes on Facebook. You can put it in the search bar and you can see her making it, talking about different products, all kind of things. And just hit her up and she'll answer your questions of what oil is best for what situations. So anything else you want to say about KW Natural Fixes?
I make bath bombs and body butters and all of the stuff that, like for pain or, anxiety is a number one, the reason why most people don't leave their house. So
Wow.
just remember, you don't have to suffer from anxiety or PTSD or any of these things. There are, all natural ways to deal with it, because not always does the medicine that was created in a lab help you. Sometimes it causes more problems. So I understand that. I've been given so many different medications that I understood that I just wanted the symptoms to go away, not create more problems. And so when it came to having a blood condition and not being able to take very many medications, I learned that oils were absolutely the number one way to go. So
I love it. And thank you for sharing what you learned. Thank you for
oh, you're
pouring yourself
welcome.
into it. You guys, thank you for checking us out, Calibrating with Leah the Life Coach. If you want to contact me, my email is leahthelifecoach@gmail.com. My website is leahthelifecoach.com. My phone number is 818-319-3313. I hope you guys have the most amazing day ever. And I just want to leave you with this. You already have the no. Take the chance for the yes. All right. And I love you guys so very much. Have the most amazing day ever.
Bye.